All right. Hi, guys. Ramon here at New York Comic Con 2014, and I am here with Alex and Chris of Grindhouse fame. And if you haven't been reading Grindhouse from Dark Horse, you are missing out in some of the funnest, well-written, well-drawn, out of the blue craziness, slightly horror, definitely creep you the fuck out book out there. Go get it. It's on trade. I'm pretty sure somewhere out there digital, legally, guys, legally. And as I just found out, and you will find out, there's another volume coming out. So here goes. Hi guys, I am a fan of Grindhouse. I loved it. It is awesome. Now my first experience with Grindhouse was the movie. Rodriguez, Tarantino. What made you guys bring that genre to the current age?
I watched way too much TV growing up. Like, there was Channel 29 in Philadelphia, which is now a Fox station, but used to just have, like, shitty old B movies. So I was a latchkey kid and watched a shitload of TV. And it was all, like, war films and, like, Cleopatra Jones and all the old horror stuff. And, like, when you're 13, there's nothing more appealing than slasher films. Because your parents are like, you can't watch that, you'll go to the devil. And you're like, yes! And so all you want to do is watch teens get stabbed in various horrible ways. And then I grew up and still love those things. And then I saw in mainstream comics, they were co-opting a lot of the transgressive nature of Grindhouse films. And Grindhouse is like a massive, massive genre. It goes from like blaxploitation all the way through like imported dodgy martial arts movies, Hong Kong kung fu stuff. But all of the uber violence was being taken by Marvel and DC, and they were doing things like DC's Free Comic Book Day comic had Black Canary's face stapled to another character. You know, a book that could be picked up by little kids. I'm just like, it just became like misery porn. And when you're 13, the fun thing about these movies is they're so naughty to see.
Yes.
Like, you're gonna get your ass whooped if your parents catch you like over at your friend's house watching these movies. And I wanted to bring that sense of fun and naughty back. I'm bringing trashy back, kids. And boobs. Booty never left. I don't care what anyone said, booty never left. And so we just wanted to make a book that was really fun and also harken back to a lot of what was awesome about Grindhouse in that, like, you had women of color as heroes, and you had, like, in 1972, 1973, you had, like, 5 different movies you could see with a black woman as the hero. And you have maybe 1 a year now, if you're lucky.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
Tyler Perry, and that's it.
Yeah.
And, like, Tyler Perry's not so great in the way he treats women. So I just wanted to make something that was, like, that was just, our rule for the comic is, like, is it awesome? Are people treated awesomely in it? And also, well, I mean, they get disemboweled and shit, but, you never get to that point in a comic where you're doing a lot of comics where you're just like, oh, fuck you. Because a lot of, like, Grindhouse has been done before in comics. It tends to be done as a 6-issue miniseries, which is, like, way too long because you're so over the concept by issue 3 or 4. And this is going to be a little controversial, but it gets written by white dudes as a power fantasy. And I'm kind of over the power fantasy books because I don't like to see myself, like, the only female characters be, like, hoes or, just there to be, like, damseled and, like, put in peril so, like, the lead, or like, horribly cut up so the lead character can get angry and have vengeance. And we just wanted to make a cool comic that was gross and trashy.
Awesome. Now, Chris, how was it bringing that awesome writing, giving it visuals? I mean, did it fuck with your head a little bit?
I kept telling him having to make the boobs bigger.
Boobs bigger always work.
Like, he was very indie when he started out, and I was like, Chris, we need more.
Yeah, I was more of a simpler, sort of subtle type of artist. So for me to sort of like bring that out, yeah, it took a little while to get going, and I actually had to revisit the first couple pages because they were first like more subtle at the beginning, and after I got used to like really pulling it out, then it got going. But it took some coaxing, and the the nice thing about it was that Alex is writing it, as opposed to just some dude just saying, "Hey, I have a girl like doing this," and I'm like, at least when it's coming from a different creator, like from Alex, I felt like, okay, this.
You gotta pass.
Well, and I knew how to approach it respectfully in a certain sense. Obviously, it's still Grindhouse, so it's not fully respectful, but
I mean, he's talking about a comic where on page 1, panel 3, there's a girl touching herself in a car. So, and then there's like 2 girls getting off fairly soon afterwards. But it's not like, they're doing it because they want to. They're not doing it as a show for the guys. It's not about like. It's a really very thin line, and it's an almost invisible one in terms of how you walk it, in a way which is not offensive to lesbians or women, and they actually believe that these characters want to be together and stuff, and are there because they're having fun rather than as like, hey, here's gratuitous like girls getting off on each other.
Awesome. Now, sadly enough, we're pressed for time, but can you let us know when the next volume is coming out?
It is November 17th. We're starting. Grindhouse is an 8-issue miniseries. It comes out in 2-issue discrete stories. So there's a different artist per storyline. So Chris did Bee Vixens from Mars, which was issues 1 and 2.
Fantastic.
Of the series. We're doing a sequel because it stars a badass Latina one-eyed sheriff's deputy called Garcia.
Oh yes.
And she's coming back, and she's going to and we're going to Alabama in Blood Lagoon.
Nice.
So we're starting off with a Christmas story called Sleigh Ride, S-L-A-Y, Ride, which no one has used as a name before. Hollywood, you have failed the city. And it's drawn by R.M. Guerra, who drew Scalp. It is really, really fucking dark and wrong, because nothing goes with Christmas like disemboweling your relatives.
You want to. You definitely want to during the holidays. Now, thank you. You're awesome. You're an incredible team. I look forward to it and hopefully seeing and hearing from you again. Thank you.